All right, it's Memorial Day as they're celebrating victory in Indianapolis. We've been working out here on this, what we wanted to call an air box. This is a filler panel. It's going to fill right across here, fill in this area here. Probably a Zeus here, 2 Zeuses here, so you can get the side panels off. Sorry about that. Dropped my pen. And we started making a box, and we were going to extend it up. You know, we wanted to draw air from here. And the more I thought about bringing this thing forward, we don't want, unlike a ram air box like this particular box. Look how thin this is. The big area here where you're drawing the air from. You don't want it coming in faster than you can use it. That's the problem we had with the overheating on our laydown cart. It came in quicker than it could go through the radiator. And so it built a high pressure area. If say that was happening here, it's scooping air in and wide open throttle as fast as it could go. We'll use round numbers. Say it's using 100 CFMs, and I don't know what that means, you know, number wise. Maybe it's 10. I'll say the carburetor that uses 10 CFMs, and this thing's pumping in at top speed 100 or 60. Right? You're not going to be able to use it quick enough. A high pressure area will build up at the opening here, and the air will literally hit the compressed air inside and just go around. And that's what was happening with our laydown cart. Why we moved the radiator to the back, because we just couldn't get, this has got, you see a nice long intake track with the radiator right up near the front of our cart. We only had about 6 or 8 inches. And we needed at least double that amount of room to have the air be able to, you know, start out with a decent hole for the box to get bigger as it expanded to the radiator, and have it deep enough, long enough, and that taper at the right configuration for the air to get through. So why am I telling you all this? Because if we were to put a top on this, we'd end up with unless we hunkered it up, you know. And why do that? We have a fan pulling fans, drawing air through. If you think about a fan, an electric fan on your road car, or even a like a Daytona prototype kind of sports car or something, they have ducted air cooling, but some of this stuff is also drawn through with fans. We're doing something a little different than everybody else is doing, and I think this is going to be the best way to go. Once the wing is on and everything, I'm going to make this out of aluminum instead of making it out of composite, and do the machine turning to it. When this is all red and all this machine turning is here, it's going to look really sweet. It's going to look nice. And I think you want to be able to pull as much air that you don't want it restricted. You'd want that restriction if you were ramming air into it, because you don't want too much to get in, again, so it can't cycle through. I think this is going to be the best alternative. And last thing I want to do is make something that doesn't work. He takes it off, throws it away, is upset, wants me to make a new one or something. This way here, he ain't gonna have any problem pulling all the air that those fans can pull right through here. There won't be any turbulence issues or anything. And I think that's going to be the way to go. I really do. The more I looked at it and thought about it after getting this filler panel up in here, and of course this thing here was about this long, right? I'm thinking, geez, I just don't like where this is going. If we were forcing air into it, that'd be one thing, but we're drawing air, so you don't want any restriction to the intake, you know, airflow when it's fan cooled like that. So this is what we ended up with. This is where we're going to go. That's all there is to it. We're going to cut out the end plate stuff I showed you on the preformed glass here. We'll get these all cut out and sanded, finished up, ready to go. Today being Sunday, tomorrow is the holiday, so we'll get out here tomorrow and mix this up, make a bunch of the filler to be able, because those are some big. That's a big panel to literally cover with filler, and it's just going to be just enough to glue the two panels together so there's no air bubbles in it. And we'll get those glued together, because I think we're going to send those to Patrick along with the bodywork and have those all painted red with the bodywork. This would be, like I said, the machine turned piece of aluminum. The only thing I'll be painting myself is probably the wing, I guess. We'll go ahead and get it, now that we've got a bigger hole in it. We've got our glue, we've got our mixing tips. I bored a bigger hole in it today so we can get this tip right down in here and be able to go back and forth this way, this way, this way, this way, and also manipulate the angle of this wing here to make sure we're getting a full amount of glue down in there. And I'll show you out here in the light. You can really get a look at what's going on down in there. And I hope you can see that. You can see where they had it glued. And man, I wish I had a third hand. But there is a gap there. You see where that filler is. The filler is literally, let me see if I can get broke loose, if you can see that. So what I'll do is I'll just flood it all in down there, you know, and then move this thing around and make sure that the glue is getting past this bit on the inside. It may even come spooging out of some of these places, but that's good. That way it's surrounded and filled, and it'll be good and solidly bonded, and we won't have to worry about any of that coming loose or causing any trouble. There's very little body work to do. There's a little crack that was already repaired when this one probably did the same thing this one did. And then, you know, just filling up these holes in the ends. We'll refill all this stuff, and then it'll be ready. I mean, well, like I said, John likes everything shiny, but might be his carpet, it's my project, man. So I'm going with the flat black on the wing, and it'll be good. Everything's good. More than enough red color on this thing with some stripes and whatever Patrick's got in mind. So that's it for Memorial Day. What we got going, what we're doing. Again, just plugging away, wanting to get this body work down to Patrick in Monroe no later than Wednesday, surely Wednesday, Thursday at the latest. And we may only have to use Thursday because Monday's a holiday. I'm gonna have to go out and buy another piece of aluminum. This is the right thickness, but it's not a big enough piece. The piece is not big enough to take that whole thing, because we want it in one piece. We'll machine turn it, and then we'll put the brakes and bends in it. We're gonna have to put some mounts on the radiator, similar to something like this, right? This is come on, Robert, Zeus pad, and we can put a 90 or whatever the angle of this bend is in here. Have Rich just stitch weld it onto the tank, staying away from the header welds here. And just you know, probably just one on each. We'll put a rubber hose or some kind of rubber insulator like we did on the dash here. A piece of this stuff, this rubber stuff, just keeps things from, you know, it's going to vibrate and move. Just keeps it from grounding through anything. We've used fuel line for this. We've got some smaller hose on the fan shroud doing the same thing. It's just to keep metal from grinding on metal and rubbing holes and things and water leaking. So that's where we're at. That's what we got going. I hope you all are enjoying your Memorial Day, remembering those who are no longer with us. My dad was was Coast Guard right out of, I mean, as soon as he was old enough. Actually, I think he lied about his age so he could get out of Kansas City. And not a glorious job. I mean, he wasn't a soldier by any means, but you know, you do what you got to do, right? You're still putting your life in danger out there. He was pulling dead bodies out of the Detroit River, rescuing people on the river and stuff. So, you know, again, it may not be the same as having bullets flying at you, but you still got to put your life in danger. And there's a chance every time you go out on a boat or off on a helicopter or whatever you're doing that you may not come back. So, for those that have, God bless you, Godspeed. We're praying for you, and for those who haven't, for their families, we feel your pain. So that's it for today out in the garage. I'm going to start cutting up this fiberglass, and it's going to get itchy, so I'm going to let you go. We'll bring you some more tomorrow. What a mess at Indianapolis, but happy for Joseph Newgarden. Talk to y'all. Godspeed.